I said to Michelin, I said, this is going to be the crop of a lifetime. This is when the vines sing to me. I didn't know there was going to be a drought when I said that.
Here at Broken Stone Winery in Prince Edward County, Tim Kipfer doesn't mince words about this year's weather.
Dry. It's been challenging and hot too.
With some vines not growing at all or already totally dried out, grapes aren't forming well in spots.
All the berries should be touching each other. You shouldn't be able to twist the bunch like
So there should be a lot more stuck in there.
Yeah, this one is really doing a lot better.
The winemaker says he could lose a fifth of this year's crop. Here in the county, wine is big business. This place has become a thriving destination the past couple of decades. Kipfer is saving what he can after buying a pump and a second-hand tank. He makes 4 trips a day to Lake Ontario.
You need to put 10 liters per plant, and they go up and down the rows and water the vines one by one.
It takes workers 10 days to fully cover the vineyard.
Generally, we'd like to see dry weather for grapes up to a certain extent, but too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing.
Federal government mapping for Ontario paints a stark picture. In Prince Edward County, up to 72 out of 90 days have seen less than half a millimeter of rain. Drought modeling here in red confirms the severe situation.
Those hot days are just terrible for the cattle, especially the last couple weeks when it was so bad. Fans and keeping them dry and keeping lots of air moving.
Not far away from Kipfer is Don Williams. He owns Wilholm Farms with livestock and crops. They've struggled too.
It's probably one of the most frustrating years, and I've been at full-time more than 40 years. What we have control of is almost nothing. We put hundreds of thousands of dollars into our fields, planting them, looking after them, and unless we get that almighty water, we can't do it.
We went to Port Perry to visit Zach Cahoon and see the situation closer to Toronto. While there, a trace amount of rain fell.
Not today's rain. We need 3 days to 5 days of nice, steady rain.
Because, as he notes,
in my opinion, we've lost 50% of our yield in corn and soybeans with the drought we're having now in this location.
So that's what's happening east and north of Toronto. While Niagara is experiencing a similar situation, it could get a little bit easier for farmers in the coming years.
So in a normal year in Ontario, we'd have fruit that's like almost twice this size.
As we go through Jack Romanoli's orchard in Lincoln, it's not hard to notice all the nectarines and peaches on the trees. These gems are sweet in taste, but smaller than usual.
Obviously, people prefer the larger fruit, but it's an issue for us in volume. What fills baskets, what pays the bills, right?
It's being chalked up to this hotter and drier growing season we've had.
We're always dealing with, environmental changes, climate change, as they say, right? But this particular year, it's just been a series of hot, dry days, one after another. It's made it hard for work.
Romanoli's family has been farming in Niagara region for a century. This part of Ontario has strong agricultural roots with hundreds of farms and agricultural businesses, often specializing in high-value products like stone fruit. Getting access to a regular supply of water has been a pressing issue here. The Ontario government set aside $41 million this year to build new irrigation lines and water trenches for farms.
I've heard a few things. I'm going to say mostly positive. Whether or not it's going to actually come to fruition, hopefully it's all inclusive to all of us.
In wine-producing Prince Edward County, it's an idea that's capturing attention.
It's a bit of infrastructure that really helps because watering a vineyard, it requires a lot of water. And surprisingly in the county, being an island, there's not a lot of good wells and there's not a lot of inland water bodies. Access to water is really important for vineyards that are 10 or 15 kilometers inland.
And as Tim Kipfer argues, having supports like this can have broader benefits.
There's economic spin-offs to the tourism industry, the arts, the food and beverage industry, the accommodators. The whole region really is lifted by what we all do. And the wine sector is a big part of that.
Issues facing the agriculture sector are getting the attention of researchers too. Dr. Khaled Algazar at Ontario Tech University in Oshawa is working on getting drones to farms. Here's one example where artificial intelligence is using drone cameras to assess and count apples. He says AI is being used to tell
if there's a water deficiency or some of nutrition imbalance.
Not only could that mean reducing food waste, Algazar says it could allow workers
to make the better use of their time, their resources, and make an efficient way of handling their crops in a better way that we have never seen before.
For now, he and his colleagues are figuring out how to develop and expand this capability.
Technology is advancing very fast, and there's a lot of potential.
While many farmers can access programs like crop insurance to cover their out-of-pocket costs, these times can spell hardship with lost profits.
Everything we do touches everybody in this country every day. Farmers are very resourceful. We're like less than 1% of the population, and when we feed 100% of the population.
This farm is everything. It's not just our life, it's our living and it's our breathing and everything else.
For much more on how Ontario's farmers are responding to this year's growing season, head over to citynews.ca. Nick Westoll, City News.